Let me sip my tea. This is my tea. Good morning, good morning, good morning, world. It's your girl, Jayde Juelz. And happy Tuesday, snitches. I'm a little disturbed right now. I had been getting word in the past, I don't even know how long at this point, that Lauryn Hill didn't pen her entire album. MISEDUCATION, to be specific, which is her most classic body of work. Shit, it's really her only body of work. Aside from the Fuji stuff and the one acoustic unplugged MTV album she put out after, which birthed Kanye West's When It All, that whole shit. I can't sing, so don't be mad. But that All Falls Down shit, Selena Johnson sang it for Kanye. Mom's mentioned it to me yesterday, and I always kind of just combat the statement, well, they saying Lauryn Hill didn't write all her music, and I'm like, ugh, that's gonna be a low blow for me if that's for real, because Lauryn is one of my favorite female. She is my favorite female rapper. I studied Lauryn growing up. Now, I'm not about to sit up here in front like having writers is unheard of. I say this shit all the time in all of my videos, and I'm sure you guys have caught on to the fact that I don't believe any one rapper writes all of their music, maybe with the exception of Eminem. But, and I mean, it's not speaking against all rappers of all time, but I'm just saying, to make a hit, it requires more than one writer. It's very rare that you encounter any artist who has the ability to portray and reflect themselves, but also make it a great song. It's rare. I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but to be as consistent as most of the artists that we all look up to as our favorite, it's rare. With that being said, it still breaks my heart if this news is true. So, Robert Glasper, which is a legendary jazz pianist, musician, he did an interview with Medium. So Lauryn Hill did an interview with, or an essay with Medium.com addressing the recent accusations on behalf of Robert Glasper, that he came out and, let me see when his interview date was. His interview date originally, this article was published on August 15th of this year. He came out and he spoke with a Houston radio morning show. The original date's not on here. Whatever the case may be, within the last 2 weeks, Robert Glasper called Lauryn Hill out for not having written all of her music and not crediting the original composers. I would have to say I'm not surprised, only because, like I said, I'm very clear on the fact that usually the person that is the artist, that is this image that we're seeing all the way back to the olden days, like Tupac, Biggie days, they're getting input from their record execs, and they're getting input from the producers who they work with, and sometimes they even bring in writers. It's just the way it works. It's the music biz, y'all. It's smoke and mirrors. We can't forget that. You know what I mean? Even Quincy Jones recently came out and said MJ wasn't creating all of his shit, which would not surprise me. But this Lauryn Hill, she made an album that represented more than one generation. It's like, I can remember when I was a kid, my mama was on that shit. I know older people than my mother that was on that shit. I'm on that shit. Like, it was generational, man. So for us to have to learn this news, for me to have to learn it, I ain't gonna flex. This one is a hard pill to swallow. But I mean, I'm sure, as you guys can tell, it's not hard for me to believe it being true. Robert Glasper came out and accused Lauryn Hill of doing this about maybe almost 2 weeks ago at this point. And he pretty much gave a few stories that his friends who actually sued Lauryn Hill and won by settling out of court for an undisclosed amount. And another occurrence that he personally had with Lauryn Hill, speaking of just her diva bullshit and cutting people's pay and just all of that. And alleging, I mean, it's not really alleged to me at this point, though, because it's like if they came out and sued Lauryn Hill and the label for not crediting them properly, and they won by way of settling out of court, nigga, I can't call bullshit. This shit seems like it's true. So, I don't know, bro. How y'all feel about this? For me, it's, I guess because Lauryn Hill is my biggest inspiration as a female rapper. Coming from the female rapper pool of artists that I was inspired by, this one is a hard pill to swallow. I mean, it's not unusual, though. Like, people have been having writers since the beginning of time, to be honest. But at a time like now, right, where we have Nicki Minaj versus Cardi B, and they're saying, well, Cardi is more successful than Nicki in this current time, just right now, since Bodak Yellow has dropped. And now Nicki's album is out, and Nicki's biggest thing is, like, I write all my shit. But, you know, Cardi don't write nothing. And it's like, the industry, it's full of smoke and mirrors. Like, it really doesn't surprise me. And like I said, usually the person that is the artist that we're seeing portray who they are, who tells that story about their life, if they are penning their shit that good, they usually don't know how to make great songs. That's just like a long time fact about rappers, which is why a lot of people outside of the hip-hop realm for a long time haven't liked rap music. And that's why we now have it to where it sounds almost like pop music, because it's easier for them to understand. Whatever the case may be, I don't know, bruh. I kind of believe it. I big time believe it. I ain't gonna flex, because I've been in too many sessions. I've written for it's just, I've seen it happen. I've heard countless stories. So, how y'all feel about this? Get in them comments, man. Do you guys think that this is a real thing? Do you think this is false? Do you think Robert Glasper is straight up tripping? I mean, Lauryn Hill just got the ability to be able to perform her music with the original music again recently, since Jay-Z partnered with her and she's now in cahoots with Roc Nation. And it's like, I'm wondering if all of that had something to do with that settlement. That was in 2001. I got to get on my research a little bit more. I usually tune out of all the gossipy shit that's outside of just what the music sounds like. But I mean, on some real, this is pretty big, and I got to follow this story a little bit more. Man, it's your girl, Jayde Juelz. Get in them comments, hit that subscribe button, like this video, follow my Instagram. I'm going to have a little information bubble somewhere at the top with the playlist I've prepared for you guys. But, man, how y'all feel about this world? This shit is crazy. Get at me, man. Get in the conversation. Deuces. Snitches.